Yo, hit that sub button for the latest in boxing. I'm going to quote what Hughie Fury had to say. I thought that I won the fight because Parker didn't hit me with any shots at all. I thought I was ahead in the fight and everybody had me up on their cards. All that Parker had was coming forward onto jabs and getting hit and countered. You didn't really see him in the fight at all. When you are in the ring and you know if you have won a fight or not, you could see the results by Parker's face. He thought that he had lost. I am the Uncrowned World Champion. Next weekend, you will see why that is. So that is what heavyweight contender and Tyson Fury's cousin, Hughie Fury, had to say. He says that he's the uncrowned heavyweight champion of the world. So he believes he beat Joseph Parker. Now, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. You can't win a fucking fight without being offensive. If you are fighting a champion, you gotta, and if you're going to fight the way Hughie Fury fights, you know, the jab move, you got to use a combination of using your footwork, but also being offensive. Hughie Fury did a really good job in moving, right? He was moving. He was making it very difficult for someone like, for someone like Joseph Parker to get to him, right? Because he was moving. You know, he was the bigger guy, the more ranger guy, and he was faster. I think Hughie Fury is faster on his footwork. So he was doing a great job in being defense, right? Moving, having Joseph Parker follow him. But the problem was he wasn't being offensive enough. Joseph Parker was the one being aggressive. Joseph Parker was the one bringing the fight to Hughie Fury. Joseph Parker, whenever he got close to Hughie Fury, he would let his hands go. Hughie Fury, like I said earlier, was doing a good job at moving, but he wasn't being offensive enough. And I'm sorry, homeboy, but you can't win a fucking world title fight if you're not fucking offensive enough. It doesn't work like that. There's a saying in boxing. If you want to become a champion, you got to take the fucking belt from the champion. Hughie Fury had to be more aggressive. He had to be more assertive. But he was too busy playing the you gotta catch me Joseph Parker game with Joseph Parker. That's why he lost that fight. That was one of the most boring performances I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. That shit was lame. If you guys remember, I made a video saying Hughie Fury is the most boring heavyweight I've ever came across. And it's true, he's boring. Hughie Fury is boring. Even if they would have given Hughie Fury the fight, nobody would have been a fan of Hughie Fury. Right? If they would have, let's say the judges would have robbed Joseph Parker and given Hughie Fury the fight, everybody would have been shaming Hughie Fury. Why? Because he's boring. He's boring. And that's why he fights on a YouTube stream, because he doesn't have a fan base. I have a bigger fan base than Hughie Fury. More people watch me than they watch Hughie Fury. These are facts. You know what I'm saying? What Hughie Fury has to learn is he has to realize there's two sides in boxing. It's good to be defensive. That's good. It's good to not get hit, right? It's good to hit and not get hit. But you gotta have a dog in you. You have to have that side in you where you let your fucking hands go and you attempt to win the fight and to take the fight from the guy you're winning, your opponent. You gotta do that. You know, and unfortunately, Hughie Fury just hasn't found that yet. You know, he's only like 23, 24, so he's young. He still has time to figure that out. But he has to find that dog in him. He has to find that dog in him. That's his problem. And, you know, people were saying, well, Vladimir Klitschko did the same thing against, Tyson Fury did the same thing against Vladimir Klitschko 3 years ago, back in 2015. But here's the difference. When Vladimir Klitschko fought Hughie Fury, he wasn't being aggressive at all. He was barely letting his punches go. And Tyson Fury was just moving and outboxing him. He was intimidating Vladimir Klitschko. That's not the case here. Joseph Parker was being aggressive. He was bringing the fight. Meanwhile, Hughie Fury was moving, but he was lacking offense, and that's his biggest problem. Hughie Fury is not the uncrowned champion. He lost to Joseph Parker fair and square, and that's it. Deal with it. And take this criticism, and hopefully you get better from it. Bye-bye.